Welcome to Jen's Creativity Corner. Today I'm going to show you how to make from a spool like this, a stool like this. I call this my wooden log spool stool. It's a fun project that I did recently and I just videoed some of it to show you step by step. First of all, I got a spool. Pretty large, like a stool size. It's got these 3 metal rods through it, so it's actually very sturdy. I got this from someone on Facebook Marketplace for like $5. They've got a whole bunch of these, so it's pretty cool. I'm going to take and cover up the sides. Now, there are different ways I could have done this, but this is how I ended up doing it. Not going out for any supplies, just using stuff I had on hand. So I had some of this batting, and I am pulling it taut and using a staple gun. And you want to make sure to avoid any of the holes that are there and obviously the metal. So kind of have to feel as you go along as it gets covered up. But I'm going to go ahead and take care of that and go all the way around. Now we're going to want to add some extra padding to the top so it's more comfortable, and to the bottom so that it doesn't scratch up any surfaces you might have, because it does have just a little protrusion with those rods sticking out. So just doing a rough cut, you're not going to really see it that well, and I do wish I had some more batting and that I had padded it a little bit more on the top just to make it more comfortable, but it does its job and it's sturdy enough. I mean, you can sit on it, you can stand on it, it's pretty nice that way. But just tucking that in there, placing it on top, and then securing it down. And then I have this beige fabric, it's cotton. Both of these fabrics that I'm using, actually my mom had sent to me, and I decided to use them for this project. So this one is a nice light tan. It's got a little bit of a like dot pattern, but nothing too prominent. So it gives a little bit of texture kind of, but it's not too loud. So I'm just pinning it, trying to get an estimate for the top circle. That's where we're going to see the lighter color of the inside of the wood, as opposed to the dark brown that you always see on the bark. So just getting a rough circle cut out, trimming it a little bit smaller. And I can sew it so it's smaller because I don't want it to drape over the edge, because you don't want it to look like the bark is not in the right place. It's a little wrinkly, but I don't care that much. It's okay. Now I could have probably put this last layer of batting directly onto the spool, but I kind of thought that it might make it look a little bit more 3D, a little bit better, to do the rings with it on the fabric. So I don't know if it made that much of a difference, but I thought I'd give it a try. So just pinning this layer of batting to the fabric, and then we're going to go to the sewing machine. Now I probably have a foot that is better for free quilting. I am a very much beginner, so I just used what I normally would use for projects, and it did make things a lot harder on the inner layers. So they're a little bit wonkier. I had to take a lot of extra time to do them. But basically, a little back stitching so it's nice and secure. And then I'm making rings. Now, the thing about a tree's rings, they're supposed to be imperfect. You're going to have a little bit of imperfect circles. Some are closer to each other, some are further away, depending on how much water there was a particular year, how much growth happened. So I intentionally actually made some a little bit more imperfect than I could have, just so it gave it some character. You'll see I'm starting and stopping a little bit around because I don't want all of my back stitching to be just all lined up. I think that's the thing about this project that kind of bugs me probably the most, is just that the contrast on this fabric. I really wanted you to be able to see the rings, but you can very well see the back stitching. I did go back in and double stitched over a few of the rings just so it does hide the back stitching a little bit more. Gives it a little bit more character as well. And I realized that this kind of fabric, if you did it on the sides, you could do like someone carved their initials or a heart in it. I think that would be a really cute way to specialize this. But we are going to go ahead and connect it to the bark fabric. Now, again, I'm kind of a beginner at this. I'm not used to stitching something that's not literally a straight line. So this is a circle, and I tried to pin it a couple times and realized that that just wasn't working. So you just have to very carefully keep matching the ends as you go around a circle if you haven't done that before. And you know, I had to undo the stitching once, but as you can see here, I pinned it, but it's just going off course. All right, so we've got the top sewn on to the bottom, to the bark, and just making sure it fits. Now, if I wanted to give a little bit more of a ring of the bark on the top and have a little bit less of the lighter color, I could have just gone back and sewn it with a little bit wider of an edge, if that makes sense. So just sew more fabric to kind of pinch it in. I kind of wish I had done that, but I really don't mind it too much the way it is. So just trimming it to size and then trying to figure out how to make a nice seam on the side, which I shouldn't have sewn exactly all the way around. I did have to do a little unstitching. So here is a close-up again of how I did stitching around. You would just grab it and keep pulling it to the side, and where I ended up doing stitching was a decent amount in, and if I wanted it to be tighter, I could have just gone further in. So this is where you're attaching the sides together to round it all off. Want to make sure those meet nicely. And this has to be a little bit more accurate than some of the other measurements, so I made sure to pin it while it was on. I feel like I'm maybe not explaining things the best, so if you do have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, if you know how to sew, you can probably figure it out just by what I'm showing you. All right, so we are done with our sewing, or at least checking up on it. You can obviously make lots of adjustments, and just like the batting, I did want it to be nice and snug on the sides, because if you grab it or kick it or something, I don't want it to just collapse in on the middle because I didn't support it. So once I'm decently happy with it, I'll be honest that I was sewing this all night. I probably got done at like 7 in the morning. So I was okay with calling it just good enough. I didn't leave quite enough room at the end, so just cut a little circle there to fit in the inside, because you don't want any of that to be bare because it's going to be on the ground and moved around. And then we are going to pull it nice and tight. And again, having to feel through, making sure you're not stapling into any of the holes or any of the metal. I did run out of staples, so I'm going to be adding a few more once I find my staples. But let me go ahead and show you kind of how it looks in different lighting, and also some of the things that I think I would have changed if I had done this again. All right, so I did mention that I don't love all the back stitching. I did go back and trim it very close so you didn't have any string hanging up or thread hanging up. Now I do wish I had gone back and not been lazy and fixed this, because it is kind of pooching out a little bit there on the back side, but it's the back side. Lugs are not perfect. I decided to go with it. Also, another thing, nitpicking, the bark fabric is the wrong direction. It should go up and down, not left and right, but I didn't have enough fabric to go the correct way. I really don't think most people are going to notice though. So here is my footstool. You can sit on it. If you really want, you can stand on it. But right now it's in my living room and enjoyable for kicking my feet up. Obviously, the light fabric can get dirty pretty easy, so we're gonna have a clean socks policy, no shoes or anything on it. I hope you enjoyed this. I had someone give me a fun idea for another spool that I have, so I will probably make at least one more of these, but let me know what you think. Please go ahead and subscribe and share this video if you did enjoy it, and leave me a comment down below. If you were to make this, what changes would you make? Would you add like a little heart or initials on the side like they were carved into the wood? I think that would be really fun. So anyway, you guys have a great day, and we'll see you next time.